What?
What?
What the hell is this?
Harumph. I didn't get a harumph out of that guy.
Give the governor harumph.
Harumph!
You watch your ass.
I see you shiver with anticipation.
Let the show begin.
Hey everybody, this is David Heretic coming at you with another edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. And tonight, alright, we're coming back to the White Stripes. Yes, indeed, the White Stripes fans feeling you. Come on now. Here we go. Before we go any further, for those of you who are feeling inclined to doing all of the clicks and the likes and the bibbidi-bibbidi bop, do me a favor, before you do all that stuff, please watch the whole video first, okay? Give me a chance to actually earn those clicks and likes. Now, after the video's done, if you still feel like doing all those clicks and likes, then by all means, feel free to click away. This comes as a request from Liz Frelick, and Liz wanted to see me react to this. Is the White Stripes doing a cover of the Dolly Parton song, Jolene. Now, have I heard the song before? Full disclosure, yes. Yes, I have. I've heard the original, and I even did a reaction to a Miley Cyrus cover of the song, so yes, I've definitely heard the song before. Now, having said that, I've never seen or heard the White Stripes cover the song before. So, full transparency, full disclosure here, not trying to fool anybody. I will not be reacting to the original song itself in any way, shape, or form. I will only be reacting to, evaluating, and scoring what the White Stripes do with this cover. What type of a spin do they put, if any? Are they going to take it a little bit of a different direction? Are they going to do a pure carbon copy cover? I don't know. We'll have to just wait and see. Let's see, this was posted by BlackMath333. Okay. And the video has 3.2 million views. It'll get you there. Other than that, there's really nothing else left to say. A link to the original video will be down below in the video description for your viewing pleasure at your leisure. Let's get started. What do you say? Are you ready? Are you ready? Because here we go. All right, here we go. The White Stripes, Jolene, Glastonbury, 2002 414. Okay. So this is live to boot, so I can take that into account with my score as well, so I can account for the cover and the live performance. So I get a double deal there. All right, let's do this.
All right, boy, let's do this.
Jolene, 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 I'm begging of you, please don't take my man. Jolene, 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 please don't take him just because you can. Your beauty is beyond compare, with flaming locks of auburn hair, with ivory skin and eyes of emerald green. Your smile is like a breath of spring, your voice is soft like summer rain. I cannot compete with you, Jolene. He talks about you in his sleep, and there's nothing I can do to keep from crying when he calls your name, Jolene.
One of his strings is out of tune. It's either the G string or the D string. I think it's the G. Yeah, one of the strings is really out, like noticeably out. Vocally, I think he's doing a fine job. I think his vocals are probably the most impressive thing about what he's doing right now. His guitar playing, it's solid. I mean, technically what he's playing sounds correct. It's just like I said, that there's that one string that's out, and I'm almost positive it's his G. But I mean, as far as how he's playing, what he's playing, everything's fine. Vocally, I think he's knocking it out of the park. I mean, he's really doing a great job with it. I gotta give credit where credit's due, though. I've been very critical of her in the past, especially in live settings, with Meg and her drumming and her ability to just keep a steady tempo. Now, listen, I know what she's doing right now is not all that complex. It's literally ride, quarter notes on the ride, just ding, 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 kick, ding, 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 kick, ding, ding. But you know what? It's solid. It's solid. Her quarter notes are exactly one beat spaced apart. There's no dragging. More importantly, there's no rushing, which is very easy to do when you're doing quarter notes on a ride. The tendency when you're doing that, for most drummers, is to push because they want to get to the next one and they want to get to the next one. Haven't heard any rushing, haven't heard any dragging. Her kick drum comes right on the downbeat with the first ride hit. So I gotta get credit where credit's due. What she's playing is about as simple as it gets on the drums, but it's solid. It's absolutely rock solid. So I gotta give her credit for that, man. She's doing a great job on the drums, keeping steady time. So good for her, man. I appreciate that. Let's keep going. Let's see where this goes.
You could easily take my man, but you don't know what he means to me, Jolene. Well, you could have your chosen man, but I could never love again. He's the only one for me, Jolene. And I had to have this talk with you. My happiness, it depends on you, and whatever you decide to do, Jolene.
Her drumming is spot on. Yeah, honestly, about what I was expecting, with a very pleasant surprise. Maybe a couple of pleasant surprises. But for the most part, it's about what I was expecting. So, not a lot to talk about. Let me get my thoughts together. I'll see you in the review, and we'll talk about it. Well, there you go, folks. That was the White Stripes with a live performance of their cover of the Dolly Parton song Jolene. This was a request from Liz Frelick. Okay, I'm gonna be honest with you, folks. This is gonna be a short review. Before I get to my score, though, I just want to remind everybody, I've heard the original song before. I've actually done a reaction to a cover by Miley Cyrus on the channel before. So I am familiar with the original song. I've heard the song before, so I am not taking the original song into account here in any way, shape, or form. I am basing my evaluation of my score completely on the cover that the White Stripes came up with, as well as their live performance, okay? That's it. So please keep that in mind. Let's get to the score now, shall we? On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to give that a 7.5. Yep, 7.5. I feel good about that score. Let me tell you why.
Why?
Okay, first things first, 7.5. What does that mean? Well, a 7.5 would translate to a really good scale rating. So I think it was a really good cover and a really good performance. It would give it 4 out of 5 stars, and I would also get a B+ letter grade. So there you go, a 7.5, really good scale rating, 4 to 5 stars, and a B+ letter grade. Now, how did I come up with that score? Haha, so glad you asked. Okay, as covers go, I think they did a really nice job. I do. I think the cover that they did, I think the approach they took was very well done. Taking into account that there's only 2 instruments, they took those 2 instruments and they made everything, they basically stripped the song down to its bare essentials. Gone are all the other voices that you've heard on the original recording and on other covers that you may have heard, remixes you may have heard. No, they just stripped this down into its bare essentials. Guitar, drums, and vocals. There you go. Not even bass, no bass. And they did a fine job with it. They took what they needed and they made it work. The guitar playing, listen, I think what Jack was doing was just fine, okay? What he was doing with the guitar, his actual playing was just fine. I kind of wish beforehand he had kind of checked his tuning. I'm not sure which string it was. It was either his B string or his G string. One of those two was out. It was one of the upper 3. So I'm not sure which one it was. I think it was the G string, but I'm not 100% sure. But something was noticeably out, and it was flat. It was like about 25 to 35 cents flat. It was noticeable. So it was like, oh God, every time he would play a chord, it's like, oh God, there it is. It's But what he was playing, how he was playing, his technique, the accuracy he was playing, that was all fine. I got no issue with anything he did there. I just wish he had checked his tuning prior. Vocally, I think he knocked it out of the park. He really put his own spin on the vocals, kind of, with a male approach, but still getting up into those upper registers. Really nice job on his part. The thing I really got to point out, though, Meg's drumming. Now, listen, I'm not going to blow things out of proportion here, okay? And say, oh my God, she's the greatest drummer in the world. I'm not going to say that, please. I mean, how many other great drummers have we heard just on the channel alone? But I will absolutely give credit where credit's due. And I know this is going to sound really stupid for people who don't play drums or people who don't understand music and have never played music. But believe me when I say this, folks, I know what she was playing was simple, but sometimes the simplest things are the most difficult to pull off, especially in a live setting. What she was playing, quarter notes on the ride. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I know it sounds simple, like, oh, it can't be that hard. It's a lot harder than you might think, just because of the fact that you got to keep those quarter notes steady, perfectly spaced apart, not rushing, not dragging, especially rushing. And in a situation like this where you're just relying on the ride, relying on the ride, relying on the ride. And it's very, very easy, especially at a slower tempo like this, to rush, because you want to get to the next one. You want to get to the next one. You want to get to the next one. Very easy to rush. She didn't. I've been very critical of her in the past with her drumming. There have been times where I've watched videos of them playing live and her drumming has been sloppy. Not in this case. It was dead on. Every single quarter note was perfectly spaced apart. On top of that, the downbeat of 1, she would add the kick. I never one time heard the 2 apart. I never heard like kick ride or right kick. It was right together on 1. When she did come in with the full kit, again, steady. It was absolutely rock solid steady. Flashy? No. Fancy? No. But dependable? Yes, all day long. So I'm absolutely going to give her credit when credit is due. She was rock solid with her drumming on this. So I was actually very pleasantly surprised by that. That's 2 videos now in a row from the White Stripes that I've heard where her drumming has been spot on. And I've been very, very pleasantly surprised by that. I like that. I like seeing solid drumming from her. So that was nice. That was absolutely nice. I just want to make sure I give credit where credit's due here. She absolutely earned the accolades. But yeah, I mean, it was a solid cover without question. I think they did a really good job. As far as the live performance goes, I'm going to be honest with you folks, the live performance had absolutely no bearing on the score. It didn't help the score, but it didn't hurt the score either. If I'm going down the checklist, stage presence was there. Stage energy, not really. There wasn't a whole lot of movement and motion around the stage. Stage interaction, oh yeah, they were interacting with each other quite a bit. There was no crowd interaction whatsoever. And there was really not a whole lot of showmanship either. So I kind of took the live performance and said, you know what, it's a wash. It's a wash. It's not going to help, but it's not going to hurt either. So yeah, 7.5 for this live performance of this cover. I think it was a great, I think it was not a great job. Why did I say great?
I'm 100% stupid.
I think it was a really good job on their part covering the song, but I wouldn't go any further than that. But it was fine, and they did the deed without question. They absolutely gave credit where credit's due to the original song. They definitely paid homage, so I got no issue with it whatsoever. So yeah, 7.5. I feel good with that score, and that's where we're gonna stay. So let's wrap everything up here in a nice shiny bow, shall we? We got a 7.5, which is a really good skill rating, 4 out of 5 stars, and a B+ letter grade. Take your pick, I don't care, whichever one of those floats your boat. Final word, final score, I have spoken. Well, that's going to do it for this edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. Hope you all enjoyed the show. Hope I was able to entertain you. If I was able to put a smile on your face and brighten your day, that did my job, and I'm so glad I could do it. If you guys feel like joining the fan base, go ahead and click on that button down there. If you guys want to like the video, go ahead and like the video. If you guys want to ring the bell, go ahead and ring the bell. It honestly doesn't make any difference at all to me, but if you guys feel like doing these things, well then by all means, feel free to do so. Well, that's going to do it for tonight, folks. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, this is David Heretic signing off, reminding you to stay fabulous and support each other. Later. Peace.